We want to go back to DAZN and kind of run through that card.
Yeah. Let's critique her now that she's not.
I mentioned the gas tank, but as far as like the under card, I know Ramla Ali, really good prospect. She fought. Sky Nicholson had a really like aggressive and unorthodox opponent, so she didn't look great, but she won. So kudos there.
Sky is she's a really good boxer.
Yeah,
and a hard puncher. She's sharp.
Yeah,
and you're right. The girl was just like aggressive,
kind of running at her, and was off balance.
Yeah, and
so it made for a tough showing
early on for Sky. She'll see women like that that are just gonna give her like a little bit of a headache, and not allow her to shine and show as good as show her to be as good as she is.
And then going into the main card, guy I said last week I was a big fan of, Richardson Hitchins.
Hitchins,
he is so damn good, man.
Hitchins.
And they did it a couple of times in the broadcast too. And I kept looking at Amy. I was like,
good fighter, man.
Come on, he is so good.
Yeah, I think he's New York, right?
He's New York. Yeah, I believe he's a Brooklyn guy.
Yeah.
The thing that I noticed the most about him, or maybe the one trait that stands out above, he has a lot of skills in the ring, is you can't speed him up. He's gonna be at his tempo either way.
Yeah.
So no matter if Bauza was pressing, if he was throwing big shots, if he was trying to get him to let his hands go a little bit more, and
his name Bauza.
John Bauza, yeah.
Okay.
And so he just stays where he wants it. If he wants to throw more, throws more. If he wants to just sit there and carve you up from the outside, he does that too.
Yeah. Who else is like that? Somebody's just got one tempo. Who's like
Shakur is like that a little bit.
Shakur is like that.
And they have to be very good friends.
Yeah.
And he was actually I think he was actually warming up on the pads before the fight.
Okay.
But he's just like, you just can't speed him up. He's really skilled, obviously, in the ring.
Yeah.
In the commentary, they kept saying, well, yeah, just let like a flurry go and you can knock him out. You can get the refs to stop him. I was like, yeah, but then you're putting yourself at risk for what? That's just always me. I'm, as you know.
You are a punk.
I don't care. Like, who cares?
You are a punk.
If you can win 1 through 12 or 1 through 10, I think it was, who cares?
TV's basically saying, give us a reason to watch you, to want to watch you.
Yeah, but he dominated him. Do I care if he gets a ref to stop him?
But go to that next level is basically what boxing was saying. And
what'd you think of Hitchins in general?
He's super sharp.
Yeah.
That guy he dominated. I think did he reign unanimous every single round?
I think so, yeah.
Or did they?
No, I think he won every round.
Yeah.
And had knockdowns.
Yeah, and he had knockdowns. I mean, just sharp.
Yeah.
You're right. He fights at a very specific pace. What does it take to get him off of that pace? Because this kid was not able to do it, and he basically has the style.
He was trying.
Yeah, basically has the style that would get Hitchins off of Richardson off of that pace. But I mean, he just, and I know the commentary says very calm and very, very, very poised. And that style that he boxes with, and it's just a straight up boxing style. It's not I'm gonna move everywhere, and it's not I'm gonna sit here and counterpunch you. It's just straight up boxing. Yeah, like he's leading with the jab. He's countering with 1-2.
That right hand. Whew.
Yeah, I mean, like just across the board. I mean, I don't think I mean, what could you do better? What could you do different?
Like, go for the stoppage, I guess. But
you go for the stoppage, but then you know what I mean. Now you gotta kind of do things that you probably haven't been training to do. Yeah. So I mean, maybe if anything, first and foremost is work on that stuff in the gym, because it's not going to translate
so you have it
on fight night. Yeah, work on changing that tempo, because on fight night, yes, people want to be electrified. They want to go home with something to remember. Yeah, when you're dominating, but there's nothing like kind of, for the sake of words, electrifying behind it, then it just kind of gives people that he's good. Yeah. Yeah, but he's actually more than good. Yeah. But we didn't really see that.
And he kind of reminds me in that sense of, like Boots always says, if you get me in there with somebody that's better, I'm going to look better. Mm-hmm. So I think if you get somebody in there that's even better with Hitchins. Yeah. I was pretty annoyed with Bauza's corner and the ref. I thought it could have been stopped rounds before the end of the fight. Yeah. And that's not, and I saw a lot of the commentary was mentioning, and there's a lot of people on Twitter mentioning Bauza, but he's got heart. I never doubted John Bauza's heart, before the fight, during the fight, or after the fight. That's not nobody's saying if you stop the fight, it's a heart issue.
Right.
He's not gonna win.
Right.
He's just there was I don't know what round it was. He got hit with like 5 clean punches in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are we doing? What's the point?
There has to be a protocol kind of like put in place for refs to kind of be able to like analyze that.
Yeah.
And I've said this before, like you need an official that can assist the ref in between rounds. And so if you got an official that, and everybody around the ring understands that this kid's not winning this fight, we're at round 6. Now let's start counting down.
Yeah.
Opposed to just allowing this fight to finish because this guy can finish and because this guy can stand on two legs, you know? It just...
There was no point.
There was no point.
And it's not disrespect to Bauza. It just wasn't going to change.
And you're right. And it's super hard to make that call because the guy was he's getting outclassed. He's not getting beat down.
Yeah.
And I think that at the end of the day, like that's what the commentary might have been even saying is saying, hey, if you put a combination together and you look like you're not going to be, going to be relentless. And
I guess I don't think it shouldn't need to be that. Like that shouldn't be what needs to happen. Like it should just be something where they just use their eyes and say, okay, this guy is like.
But again,
clearly.
like to my point, it's hard for a ref to make that judgment call because this kid can stand on 2 feet.
Yeah.
This kid has his hands up. Yeah, he's taking a lot of clean shots, but he does not look like he wants to quit.
Yeah.
Does not look like he wants to stop.
Yeah.
And so I guess for the sake of words, I guess maybe historically, if I don't want to quit, you can't stop it. You know? I don't know.
You just have to be there. Like when the fighter doesn't want to accept that, which obviously as a fighter, you're not going to. I don't expect him to.
Yeah.
You have to be there for the fighter to be the level head in the room and say, hey, whether you're the ref or you're the corner, you say, wasn't our night.
Yeah.
He's a young guy. He was undefeated before that.
Yeah.
Fight another day.
Yeah.
Let it go. But
I didn't see, and one more thing to Bauza's defense, I didn't see anything that looked, nothing that was alarming for the
I'm not a doctor though.
Yeah.
And you're not a doctor. Because I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Like looking back, I'm like, no, there wasn't anything that stood out, but it's like, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what I'm looking for. That's why they have doctors in the corner. That's why the NFL has concussion experts. That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I've had concussions. I don't know what a concussion looked like.
I mean, like the stumbling. I didn't really see stumbling. You know, I didn't see moments where he was like light on his feet and it worried me, you know?
Yeah.
And you know me, like I'm one of the first to be like, all right, stop.
I'm the first. I'm the first. You might be following after me.
Yeah. But I didn't really, there wasn't anything alarming. It's just the fact that, you've been dominated round after round.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something that needs to change about boxing.
Yeah.
Where if one guy is completely outmatched and outclassed and being dominated round after round, maybe if this is a 10-round fight, upwards to 7 rounds, we're looking at stopping it for his safety.
Yeah.
And maybe make an announcement that, hey, this is the new protocol.
Yeah.
Don't expect these fights to go 10 rounds just because this guy, like I just said, can stand up. Yeah. You're right.
And I don't know what will be next for Richardson Hitchins.
I don't know either, but that dude is good.
He is. He's super good. I don't know what is next for him. I think he's a problem for anybody at 140.
I kind of feel like he's like the quiet storm from New York. You know what I mean? Like I knew he was from New York.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's other guys that like
he seems to be eager to get that chance of like being the guy and getting that shine, which I think he deserves.